Well, hello everyone. Today I am going to be showing you how to set up a trust wallet that will work with DNX as well as our ARM websites. And there might be some other cryptos that we'll be getting along the way where Trust Wallet will work better than MetaMask. One thing that we did with MetaMask with Veritas Vault, that first one that we got set up in. And so we had to have a MetaMask wallet to do that. But for all of these other ones that we're doing right now, this DNX group, we're not able to transfer things back and forth with MetaMask as easily. When it comes time to take the profits from my investment, because here in withdraw funds, like for example, I have my referral rewards right here. And there is no way to swap this back into my primary wallet or to invest back into the robots. From here, once it comes in through referral rewards, I can't reinvest. I can if it was earnings from my my actual profits here in my investments. You can see here there is a place to be able to reinvest. I think it's under, oh, there it is, right here. You could take your profits and reinvest. Now, this is already compounding, so it's already reinvesting. But once the period is over, 3 months or a year or the 7-month one that they currently have, once that's over, you can reinvest through here. But because of my rewards being in a separate wallet, I'm kind of in a stuck position because I can't reinvest this directly inside the platform. I have to transfer to my TRC20 wallet, which would have to be my trust wallet that I'm going to set up. So ultimately with this platform, especially with referral rewards, I have to transfer that to a trust wallet because I can't transfer it into MetaMask. I have too many hindrances. So let's go ahead and get set up with the trust wallet now. You want to click on a link to get to the trust wallet. All right, let me go ahead and get started here. Trust wallet, you'll see this little tab here. It says download. And we're going to download it. And I'm going to download it for Chrome because I'm using it on my computer. Add to Chrome, yes. Add extension, yes. We're going to do the same thing we did with MetaMask. So we're going to go ahead and set it up just like we did before. All right, the Trust Wallet has been added to Chrome. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to pin the Trust Wallet to our toolbar. Just like we did with MetaMask, we're going to go ahead and pin this one as well. And so you can see it right here. This little symbol right here means that it is pinned. And now we're going to go ahead agree to the terms, and I don't have the wallet. If you already have the wallet and you're bringing it into your computer, just like with the self-custody wallet of MetaMask where you have a passcode with different words and basically the words that you have to type in, this one's going to be set up the same way, but I'm going to create a new wallet because I am new to the Trust Wallet. All right, and let's see. Secure my wallet with Windows Hello. I'm going to use a password. Let's use the password, and I'll create a password just like I did with MetaMask. Okay, now it's in the process of creating. They have different options here. We're going to go ahead and open my wallet. Okay, so you see the options here. We have automatically put in, it's already put in a lot of our standard tokens to be able to view, BNB, even Bitcoin, Ethereum. Look at all the different types of ones. Okay, now that you've signed into your wallet with a password, the next thing you need to make sure you do before you send any funds into it is get your seed phrase. Your secret phrase for your wallet is what you'll need to be able to import it into your any device that you have. Or if something happens, let's say you put money into your wallet and you had trouble getting logged into your wallet for whatever reason, and you decided you wanted to try to reinstall your Trust Wallet on your device, you'll never be able to access it again if you don't have this secret phrase, this seed phrase here. It should give you a message to set up your secret phrase. It should have a yellow message up here. But if you don't see that message, then what you're going to do is you're going to click right here. You see where it says seed phrase, and mine says account 1 because that's the only account I have. But if it's your first time setting up this wallet, then that would be likely what you'll see is seed phrase account 1. To the right of that, all the way over to the right, you'll see this settings tool. Click the settings tool, click manage wallets, click this arrow, seed phrase, and on down at the bottom is your secret phrase. And you'll click this secret phrase right here, and then you put your password in. When you put your password in and it verifies it, then it will give you those secret words in order. Make sure you make a copy of that so you don't lose this. All right, so I wanted to just show that because that's really important. Before you add any money or add anything more to it, make sure that you back up that secret phrase where you can always access it. So if something happens to your computer or to your installation of Trust Wallet, you'll be able to reinstall it and re-import your wallet. Back up my security phrase. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and back up the security phrase. This is really important. Just like we had with MetaMask, you don't want anyone to see this. So I'm going to show this in a little bit, but not on the video. I'm going to show it for myself. I'm going to write down those phrases. It's really important. It's going to help you secure your wallet. Just like we do with MetaMask, you keep a record of those keywords. We're going to do the same thing here with Trust Wallet. So go ahead and show the phrase and make a copy of that. Maybe print it out so you have a hard record. Keep it in your safe, because if this phrase is lost, just as it is with MetaMask, you've lost those funds. I'm going to go ahead and do my word matching for mine. You're just going to match up whichever one goes where. Okay, all right. So I have set up my Tron wallet. I've gotten the passcode and everything all recorded and verified. And so here I am with my Trust Wallet open. Now I want to point out a few things. When you first come into Trust Wallet, there are a number of different tokens you're going to see just automatically showing up in here, but it's really not going to retain your tokens that you have until you send funds. So just be mindful that, sometimes you might not see all of these tokens. The important thing to remember when you're using the Trust Wallet is that you need to fund a few of the key tokens to be able to transact on certain networks. Like for BNB, for the BNB Smart Chain, you'll need to fund the BNB token, just like we use the BNB Binance Smart Chain in MetaMask. Now you'll notice a similarity in the Binance icon, and it's a little bit different. So I want to point this out. Here in MetaMask, you could see what it looks like. It has that little symbol, and it kind of looks like that. In this one, the BNB Smart Chain comes up like that with a black around it. It's confusing because there is a counterfeit one. When we try to find, let me see, I was doing some searching a little bit ago. Let me see, how do we search? Well, yeah, so when I put BNB, you see how you have this one, but it says Beacon Chain. That is not the correct token. We need to pick this one. This is a fake one. And yet it looks so much like it's the real thing because of our MetaMask BNB. I want to point this out so you don't get confused. The one you want on is the BNB Smart Chain, not the BNB Beacon Chain. So don't let that confuse you. That's a counterfeit right there. It looks like the old one. This is the correct one. Has a black around it, has the same icon, but it's BNB Smart Chain. Turn that one on. And then let's see. The other thing I wanted to just point out is just like we have Ethereum in the regular MetaMask wallet, and we also have Ethereum that we can get. You have to go in MetaMask to the Ethereum network. See, there's a similarity in the icons, but it is the same thing. We have Ethereum here in MetaMask, And then you'll see Ethereum right here just looks a little bit different in the icon. And if you're not sure, you can search Ethereum. You always remember we're pulling the Ethereum on the Ethereum network chain. So if it says Ethereum, that's the correct one. Make sure that one is on. And then there's one more token that we're going to need to use with the smart wallet as far as funding the gas fees that you need for the networks. We've got BNB Smart Chain Network. The BNB we have to fund, which I did already. I sent this over from my MetaMask. I'll show you that in a minute. And then Ethereum we're going to fund. And the new one that we do for this wallet is the TRX, Tron Network icon. This is the gas fee one. So we will have to fund this one, TRX. This one's a little tricky because you can't just buy it inside the wallet, nor can you just buy it on Coinbase and send it over. For some reason, Coinbase and these networks do not let U.S. customers buy TRX directly. So it's one of those things where, just like in Canada, where in Canada you can't buy the BNB token, you can in the US in Coinbase, but in Canada you can't just buy it direct. You have to buy Ethereum in Coinbase, convert it through SimpleSwap into BNB when you're living in Canada. So you guys in Canada are familiar with funding BNB through using Ethereum on Coinbase and going through SimpleSwap. Well, we're going to have to do that even here in America with TRX, the Tron Network token, because we have to use SimpleSwap to swap out of Ethereum in Coinbase to convert it to TRX. And so we will do that in a bit. All right, so as I mentioned, I had already bought some BNB a little bit extra in my MetaMask wallet and I sent it over here. Let me show you how you do that. First of all, these little boxes here, that's a copy of the chain, the smart chain wallet address. So you can always click right in here and see if you want to send to Ethereum. You could just copy that right there or copy the address right here in BNB. But if you're not sure and you want to look it up for sure, up here, there is this right here has a list of your addresses for the different tokens on the different chains. So you can click on those boxes, come right in here, and you can search BNB. And I don't want the beacon. I want the BNB smart chain address. Here you go. And then I was able to copy it in from there. So there's a couple ways you could do that. And if you're not exactly sure if you copy the right one, you can always copy it here, paste it in a Word or Notepad document, and then copy it from the addresses right here and just make sure it matches. But I've already done that. I'm going to go ahead and send Ethereum over from MetaMask. And this is the same thing that we would do. I'm not going to use this one, Ethereum Classic. We're using the Ethereum one right here. And I'm going to go ahead and go over here to the MetaMask wallet. And since I have a little extra Ethereum, I'm going to send these. Just click send. I'm going to paste my wallet address for my Trust wallet. And I'm just going to send, I don't have a lot extra, but I think I've got about $4. Oops. You know what it's doing? Oh, this is another thing. It's trying to pull out this little funny number. Now, in the past, we fiddled with that in my videos, but I learned a shortcut today. If you click this little double arrows, it changes it to US dollars. And look how easy that is. There's US dollars. Okay, now I can send it over. And confirm. View activity. Says sent. Tokens. And it should refresh in just a minute. There it is. It just showed up. So I have funded both my BNB and my Ethereum in my smart wallet. You notice they put the dollars, the ones with dollars, up here at the top, which is great. Now we got to do TRX. This is the one we'll buy some Ethereum, or I'll use USDC actually in Coinbase. I can go straight from USDC through SimpleSwap into TRX. So you could do buy Ethereum, move it in, or you could just buy USDC and move it in that way. So let's do that. Now I want to talk a little bit about Coinbase. for a lot of you guys, you're familiar with buying crypto in Coinbase. What I like to do, especially here in America where they like to lock up funds when you transfer money from your bank, and it may take 5 to 10 days to clear, 10 business days, I oftentimes will click on the cash and I will fund the USDC. I'll buy, like, you just click that and I'll just bring funds in through USDC. You could just click that. I'm going to go through my checking account. I have a very low limit on mine and it just takes forever to clear, but I could put 250 in and then just let it transfer. And it could take, like I said, several days. Now, I'm not going to do this right now, but that is one way that you can fund some of your token gas fees for the different networks if you don't have extra tokens in your MetaMask wallet to transfer over to the Trust wallet. The other thing you can do is you can use a debit card. And when you use a debit card, you click, like you're going to buy into USDC, for example, you'll pay with a debit card that you attach. And when you use a debit card, the funds are available right away. So like you see here, I just use that little arrow to change it. Or if you want to bring a lot more funds over, let's say to get into an investment that you want to bring quite a bit of money, and obviously 250 every 5 to 10 days is a really slow way to bring money over. You can always click this arrow and you can go down here to the wire transfer or use add payment method. So let me show you an example. In crypto, and we've covered this a little bit in some of my crypto Coinbase trainings, you go over to the crypto tab in the home page, and let's say we're going to go search for BNB, which is one of the ones that I sent over from my wallet in one of my prior videos. But let's say I wanted to buy BNB. That's not available in Canada. I can buy it here. I can go ahead and see buy BNB right here, and I could pay with my checking or use my debit card and buy it straight. Especially if I use a debit card, it's usually available right away to send out. If you buy crypto in the US and you use a regular bank account, you're waiting for days before you can send it into your wallet. So I wanted to show you guys that BNB and Ethereum. Now, Ethereum, on the other hand, I believe is available in Canada as it is here in the US. So if you want to fund Ethereum in your wallet from Coinbase, that's very easy to do. You just, search up here in the box and you bring it up, and then you just hit buy and you select which account you want to use, whether it's a bank account or a debit card or whatever you're going to do. So Ethereum and BNB in the US, easy to buy in Coinbase, easy to transfer to your wallet. And if you don't have it already in like MetaMask and you want to, send some of those funds over like I did in the prior part of the video. Now, this next one is harder to buy. Let me show you what we need to buy. It's TRX. There are different ones that show up here in Coinbase, but we want the Tron Network token. It's the red one here, and it's TRX. When you click it, here in the United States, we've got a problem, and I imagine probably so in Canada. Some of my Canadians may discover this as well. You can see when you go to try to buy it, for one thing, there's no buy box over here. When you go down here, it says Tron is not tradable on Coinbase. And I discovered even trying to buy it in through my wallet with my Trust wallet and tried to put a credit card in there, it would not let me buy it in the wallet either. It says it's not available in the United States. So I think there's some kind of regulation creating a hindrance to being able to buy the TRX token at this point. However, a lot of the platforms that we use do use the Tron network. The TRC20 that we see in DNX is the Tron network. So to be able to, send and receive and convert and whatever, we do need some TRX. We need this Tron network gas fee, you might say, put some gas fees into our Trust wallet. So we're going to have to use SimpleSwap for this. Just like in Canada, you guys have to use SimpleSwap for just about everything you want to buy. Now, there is something I've discovered with SimpleSwap. Rather better to use the cash USDC. And I discovered that SimpleSwap can swap USDC from Ethereum, which is our Coinbase side. We're in the Ethereum network. So we can select USDC from Ethereum here in Coinbase. We could buy from USDC here, and I have a little bit. And then you can use SimpleSwap to swap it right into your Trust wallet to be able to fund the TRX Tron coin. Let's go ahead and pull up SimpleSwap now. And I'm going to just type in SimpleSwap.io, and I do think they might even have, there might be some options here, but with SimpleSwap, it's really easy. You don't have to go through KYC to use it. And those of you in Canada have already been using it, so you're very familiar with it. But the first box here is the box of the token we are going to send in. In this case, it's going to be USDC on Ethereum. And in Canada, you can buy the same thing. So it's not going to be any difference for you guys in Canada that it is for us here in the United States. You're going to put USDC on Ethereum. Incidentally, you guys that are buying, bringing income in to invest in Veritas Vault, you guys in Canada can also use USDC instead of Ethereum as another shortcut to being able to get funds into Veritas Vault as well with the Canadian hindrances. So you can use it to buy BNB in Canada, and in our case, we're going to use it to buy Tron. So we put USDC. I'm going to send about $10 of USDC in, and then also because that's US dollar equivalent, or I think in Canada it'd be Canadian dollar equivalent. You just put $10 in and you're fine. It will recognize it with USDC. You don't have to play with the little dots and little numbers like we have down here with Ethereum. Now, the next thing we're going to do, this lower box is what we're going to convert into. So we're going to do TRX for the Tron, and see we have the red icon. So we're going to do the Tron network, red one. This one's Tron on Binance, and in some of the cases we are using Tron on Binance, but if we have some of the gas fees in Tron, it should be able to be accessed even when we are dealing with, if it is something on Binance, they could take out of the Binance BNB that we already put in. So don't worry about the other version of Tron. Right now we just need to fund the Tron token right here. I'm putting $10 USDC, and this is what it's going to give me in TRX in my wallet. Now I'm going to go ahead and click exchange to create that exchange, and now I need my wallet address. So I'm going to go to the Trust wallet. We're going to click on the little addresses and search for the token, or right down here. I have Tron already, Tron TRX, Tron. So I'm going to just copy that one because I already have it right here for quick links. And that's what I need. I need that address. Now we're going to create the exchange, and that's where it's going to send my TRX. But I need to take this right here, awaiting my deposit. This is my wallet address that I'm going to need to give to my Coinbase to send those $10 USDC tokens over here to SimpleSwap. So it has to receive my deposit from Coinbase in USDC using this wallet address. And I'm going to make note of the last 4 digits so I don't mess up when I copy it in. 25AF. All right, now let me go back to Coinbase. Here's my USDC. I'm going to click on the 3 dots to the right of it where it says send. I'm going to paste in my wallet address for SimpleSwap, which is my 25AF that I looked to see if I had copied correctly. I'm going to hit enter, select Ethereum. I'm going to say $10 of USDC, I say preview and send now. All right, now it says done. Now we're going to go back to Simple Swap, and I'm going to watch this because down here it's going to display the status of my transfer from pending receiving the deposit, and once it gets notification that the deposit has come in, it will shift over here to confirming, and I can watch it go through. This will take just a few minutes, and then we'll be ready to check our wallet to see if the gas fees are financed here on the TRX token. Well, it looks like it finished successfully, transferring $10 worth into TRX. It says it gave me whatever the Tron 32 would look like. And I see it right here in my Trust wallet. So having this gas fee funded, I'm now able to take deposits from DNX. So now I'm over here with my DNX group website, and I clicked here on withdraw funds, and we'll go ahead and scroll down a little bit. I've got some referral rewards that I'm going to copy into my wallet, my new Trust wallet, now that I have Tron funded. Now, I also want to point out, it could come in under here. This is what my main investments in here. It could come in here. And sometimes when you take, obviously when you take the payments that they give you, whether it's rewards or whether it's interest you've earned on some of the investments, if you don't have them auto compounding like I do right now, this will be funded as well. If I put it like in a flexible account instead of a regular compounding, it will free up the interest payments so I can withdraw them to my wallet, and it can be a source of income that way as well. But I'll need to withdraw it to my wallet in order to either reinvest in any of the other investments they have, or perhaps I want to send it to my bank account for living on the income. So this is a really handy thing to have set up. But right now I just have the rewards here in my wallet, and I click this, and then they don't have a max button, but I can just type it in right here, 360, and they'll need me now to enter my USDT Tron TRC20 wallet. But which address do I use? I'm going to use the USDT that's on the Tron network. So we're going to come over here to my Trust wallet, and I've already looked this one up, so I have the address right here. But I want to show you guys real quick, in case you don't have it in your wallet yet, to list where you're going to deposit it, to be able to copy the address. You can go up here in the search right here. This is how you bring in the different tokens that you want to use. Now you can see how I've turned this one on. So this is my USDT Tron. Now if I'm in anything else, that's USDT, you just check the network, whatever they say they pay out in. If I need some of the others, I'll add them at that point. But this is the one we want, USDT Tron. It has the little red icon for the Tron Tether token. We'll click on that, and here it has a little receive button, and I can just copy the address that way. Or you can see how it says 2KC, or like I said, in my wallet, I already have the address right here. And I'm just going to copy it right here because I already put the token in my wallet. So I'm going to copy it right here. And you see how it's ZK6. And when I was inside the token itself to receive, see how it's ZK6. So I can copy the address from there if I clicked on it and click on receive. Or I can just go in my wallet. This is a nice shortcut, having that token already set up and just copying it right here to paste in. Okay, so now double check, make sure the wallet address is correct, which we did. We're going to confirm the withdrawal. All right, now it's putting it in the pending status. It can take a few days. They tend to be a little bit slow. This DNX group, it's very slow with their customer service. I want to show you an email address that you guys can use if you have any issues. If, let's say, like in my case, I have an investment right now that is still in the waiting stage. It's been a week. If you're giving it, a little bit of time like that, or it's a week, for example, and you need to get a hold of them, the email you want to use is the info email address on the screen that I put there for you guys. So you'll want to use that. They don't have it on their website. It's hard to find this email. There's other email addresses I've used before and they don't respond to it. So you'll need to use this email address to contact them if you have any issues. They don't work on the weekends, so just be mindful of that. But it's already in the pending tab to be sent over. I'll probably have it within the next couple weeks. And like I said, if there's any other issues like investments that are hanging out like this one, still waiting here, it's been over a week, I'm going to message them on that info email address on your screen. All right, so that's how it works. That's how you connect your Tron wallet to DNX Group to be able to take income and deposits, withdrawals from their system.